My parents impressed on me the values that you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
Did you have any advice for Mrs. Trump?
You know, I didn't. We talked about the kids, but, you know, my offer to Melania was, you know, you really don't know what you don't know until you're here.
Right.
And Laura Bush was nothing but gracious and helpful, and her team was right there for my team all throughout this entire 8-year process.
And your team is doing the same.
We will do whatever they need to help them succeed.
In the past week, Michelle Obama called Trump a weak man with gross incompetence. And his response, a series of unhinged all-caps rants that proved her point better than she ever could. We're counting down the top 5 most revealing moments from this epic clash that show why Trump can't handle strong women like Michelle, especially when they point out what's missing in his own marriage. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Ever notice how Trump loses his mind whenever Michelle Obama speaks? It's like watching a toddler have a meltdown when someone takes away his favorite toy. There's something about Michelle that drives him absolutely bonkers, and it has everything to do with what's missing in his own sad life. When Michelle recently called out Trump's gross incompetence and labeled him a weak man, she hit him where it hurts most, right in his fragile little ego. Most politicians would respond with some kind of measured rebuttal, maybe a carefully worded statement from their communications team, but not our buddy Donald. Nope, he immediately spiraled into all-caps social media meltdowns, basically proving her point about his emotional instability faster than you can say cough F.
A known slumlord, a predator found liable for sexual abuse, all of this while we pick apart Kamala's answers from interviews that he doesn't even have the courage to do, y'all. I hope you'll forgive me if I'm a little frustrated that some of us are choosing to ignore Donald Trump's gross incompetence while asking Kamala to dazzle us at every turn. That you treat people with dignity and respect, even if you don't know them and even if you don't agree with them.
That you treat people with respect.
Body language experts have picked up on something fascinating here. While Michelle maintains this composed, dignified demeanor during her speeches, showing real confidence, Trump's behavior is completely reactionary, like a puppet whose strings are being pulled. His desperate flailing reveals those deep insecurities and his pathetic need for validation. It's almost sad. Almost. What's really telling is the dignity gap between these two. Michelle rarely even bothers to mention Trump by name in her speeches, yet he obsessively watches and responds to everything she says. It's like she's living rent-free in his head while she's out there just living her best life. This fixation isn't just some political beef. It's a man desperately craving the admiration that Michelle receives without even trying.
I hope that you'll forgive me if I'm a little angry that we are indifferent to his erratic behavior, his obvious mental decline, his history as a convicted felon. Please do not hand our fates over to the likes of Trump, who knows nothing about us, who has shown deep contempt for us.
And Laura Bush was nothing but gracious and helpful, and her team was right there for my team all throughout this entire 8-year process.
And your team is doing the same.
We will do whatever they need to help them succeed.
Look at how they handle criticism. Michelle coined that famous phrase, "When they go low, we go high," and actually lives by it. Meanwhile, Trump attacks anyone who dares criticize him, especially strong women. His responses to Michelle often show this panic-driven need to assert dominance, but his angry outbursts only end up proving her points about his character. Talk about a self-own. The contrast becomes even more obvious when you look at their marriages. Public perception of the Obama marriage highlights genuine mutual respect and partnership. They actually seem to like each other. Then there's the Trump marriage, which many view as transactional and lacking any real connection. No wonder he gets triggered when Michelle speaks about family values or marriage. It automatically highlights what's missing in his own relationships. It's the difference between a genuine connection and whatever awkward hand-slapping photo op he's staging with Melania. What really infuriates Trump is that Michelle Obama represents everything he can't buy: genuine respect, actual intelligence, and a marriage based on mutual admiration rather than some weird business arrangement. His whole life has been about slapping his name on things and buying status, but he's learning the hard way that real dignity isn't something you can purchase. When Trump storms onto social media after Michelle speaks, he's telling on himself. He can't handle criticism from someone whose opinion actually matters to the public. While Michelle gracefully delivers her points, Trump's frantic responses read like a desperate man shouting, "I'm not insecure, you're insecure," into the void.
So that's one of the things I said to Melania. When you get to a place when you can digest all this and you have questions, because, you don't have questions.
What am I supposed to do with this gift? And everyone cleared out and no one would come and take the box, and I'm thinking, do we take the... Rock and I were raised with so many of the same values. Like, you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're gonna do.
Trump's fixation on the Obamas goes deeper than just politics. It stems from his deep-seated need for the kind of admiration Michelle receives naturally. Each time she speaks and the public responds positively, it's a painful reminder to Trump that no matter how many buildings bear his name, he can't command the same level of genuine respect.
Because a vote for him is a vote against us, against our health, against our worth.
So the door is open, as I've told her, and as Laura Bush told me, and as other first ladies told me. So I'm not new in this going high thing. I mean, I'm modeling what was done for me by the Bushes.
Right. It was a lovely frame. There's all this protocol, so they tell you that you're gonna do this, they're gonna stand here, and never before do you get this gift, so I'm sort of like, okay.
The thing about Michelle Obama is that she doesn't need to try to get under Trump's skin. Her mere existence as a respected, accomplished woman is enough to trigger his deepest insecurities. Every time she speaks about dignity, composure, or acting presidential, it's like she's holding up a mirror to everything Trump lacks. We've reached a point here where even the polls tell the story. Michelle Obama consistently ranks as one of America's most admired women, while Trump's approval looks like his business ventures, consistently underwater. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Every time he sees those poll numbers showing her massive popularity compared to his, little Donnie just can't handle it. What's really happening is that Trump's desperate need for validation has become his biggest weakness. He can dish it out, but turns into a whiny man baby whenever Michelle speaks. It's like watching someone desperately trying to join the cool kids table when they weren't invited. So next time Trump has another Twitter tantrum after Michelle drops some truth, just remember, this isn't about politics anymore. It's about a fragile ego confronting someone who earned what he bought, actual respect. Michelle doesn't even have to try. Her existence alone reminds Americans what dignity looks like, and grumpy Trumpy just can't stand it.